So now knowing about the site context, we are moving to sustainable architecture. Everyone talks about it, but let's understand it from the client's perspective. Sometimes they are not immediately sold on sustainable design choices. So how do you convince them?
So it depends. Now, what is the sustainable part that you are talking of? Okay, what is it that you want to do? Okay, why is the client saying no? The client is telling because you are saying I want to put these materials, this. Certain things are today become a norm, whether it is rainwater harvesting, solar panels, recycling water. That is a norm. So where does the client get into difference? Is all these materials and cost which comes in. I personally believe sustainability starts much prior to that. Okay. I personally believe as an architect that sustainability starts from planning part of it. Okay. How you plan your this. Like you see the Wokhat school that we have done, in Aurangabad. We placed every classrooms which were north-south to take the north-south light. We had all no direct sunlight coming into classrooms. So all the classrooms become sustainable in its own way.
Yes.
You don't need, too much of artificial light. Just like here, you have this light coming in. You don't need artificial light. So throughout the day when the school is running, you have got so much natural light coming inside. Because there is no heat coming inside, there is a minimum requirement of any mechanical system required to cool the place.
Correct.
Then you work on the other parts. Now, we felt climatically it was a good place to use something like exposed concrete. Now, when we use exposed concrete, it requires no maintenance, it requires no paint, it is timeless, it's lifetime. So, it depends from where you're starting sustainability and what is your concept of sustainability. Is sustainability only saying that, oh, I have to use recycled materials? Is sustainability only saying that I have to, use things which are within this kilometer and I have to see that? No, I think, yeah, those are there. I'm not saying, I'm not denying those things. But I'm saying that there is far more beyond that for it.
I think the definition of sustainability was, I think it is this much like rainwater harvesting, whatever things you told. People just decide on that factors. We have done this, our house is sustainable now. But I want to ask, was any convincing needed there regarding the sustainable design?
I don't think so. Now, if I tell you that I'm doing this design like this, I'm planning this like this, and just like this, your school might require 50% of the light which is there. As a client, why would we say no?
Definitely.
If I tell you I am using, this kind of natural concrete finish, which for years you don't need to paint, you don't need to maintain, and the child can't spoil it, why would you say no?
Yes.
So it is user-centric of what you're doing. Okay, also. It's what you want to do, how it works with that space, and how it eventually, gets completed in its holistic manner. And that is what sustainable is all about. So it's not just the materials and just not the cost which is there.
I think it's also like how architects explain it to the client in what they want to listen in those terms.
I think every client today is literate enough to understand sustainability. But the mindset, as you said rightly, is that, oh, sustainable means मुझे ये points करना है और ये points के लिए ये cost आएगा. But are we talking just for points as sustainability, or are we talking sustainability as sustainability per se?
And also the play of light you talked about, it also invites students to come to the school and have that play with the light and shadow, which interests them to study.
And secondly, when you're making something so connected to nature, so it's a very child-centric opportunity that you're giving to the child, It's a scale which is so different. It's so child-centric, so user-centric. And when it is so child-centric and user-centric, they are going to like it.
It reminded me of my school. So all my classrooms were facing towards the courtyard. It had light coming in and all corridors were connected with courtyards. It was wonderful.
We did another school which is Dainik Bhaskar, Sanskar Valley in Bhopal, and where we had the classrooms to the courtyard. Again, considering the climatic condition, we had a beautiful valley, and in which we put these blocks which were there. And amazing part was that courtyard even did absorb the sound. So most of the times when I went after the school, the teachers kept the doors open. But because of that courtyard, there was very little sound which was getting transmitted from one side to the
Yes,
other.
yes.